The dark sign brands the undead.
Daddy, please stop doing crazy.
And in this land, the undead are corralled and led to the north. This is your fate.
Popping these pills on my coat. I'm out the road, feel like I'm Batman. Damn, what? Smart as a madman. These niggas, they still on my flow. Talking my heart, I'm still in your hoe. Taking your hoe to the pad. She getting lit. She tryna suck on the dick. She wanna suck on the dick.
It's finally here, the long-awaited Dark Souls boss quality ranking. So let's get right into the potatoes. This is going to be quality ranking of all of the Dark Souls 1 Remastered bosses. This isn't by difficulty, this isn't by my favorites, this is just by how well I think the boss is implemented into the game, their area, and with all of their mechanics, and just an overall ranking of the boss's quality. I was originally going to do just the boss music, but I realized that I
didn't really know what the fuck I was talking about.
I was basically just saying, oh, I like the part where it's like, ha 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 ha, and it honestly
sounded stupid.
But with all that aside, let's get into the first ranking, which is Bed of Chaos. If anybody has ever played this game, you know this is just by far the worst boss in, like, maybe the entire Dark Souls trilogy.
This thing is a fucking piece of shit.
It's not even really a boss, it's just like an area hazard. Because you just go over to the right side, go over to the left side, you smack a little thing, and then the floor is breaking out from under you, there's this giant
fire dick swinging at you.
And then you have to go to the middle and try not to get hit into the void. I've beaten this game how many times, and I couldn't even do it in one try. Not even 2 tries, I did do this 3 fucking times. So this is just by far the worst boss in the game.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Yeah, just genuinely fuck this dude.
Next up, I have a pretty easy boss. It's gonna be Seath's Discharge. Now, for a boss that's name is basically
never-ending cum,
I did not come once.
What?
All you have to do is run over to this dude's dead sister or whatever. Then you just run back to the start, smack his little fire dong a few times, and he just dies instantly, and all of the lava goes away. So it's like barely even a boss fight. I mean, you can fight him head on, but it's just like, why even go through the trouble? Alright, next I have Stray Demon. This one is only this low because it's a reskin of Asylum Demon, which is like the first boss you fight.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
I just don't really fuck with reskins, and he only has like 2 different moves, if that. And every time you fight him, you have to like fall off a cliff, so you're already down like
half health.
So there's nothing really special about him. I mean, like, his theme is kind of cool, I guess. Following that trend, we got Demon Fire Sage, who is literally just the same thing, except he has eaten a little bit of Red 40, and yeah, I don't really have any more notes on him. Alright, the ranking for this boss is based on the fact that I am a melee build in these games, and it's Moonlight Butterfly. This is just such an
annoying fucking boss.
All it does is just fly back and forth on this bridge for like 10 minutes. You could genuinely pull up an episode of and watch it before it even comes down for you to get 2 hits off, and then you gotta queue up the next episode while you're waiting for it to come back down. It just takes forever, It just fucking sucks, even though the theme is actually, like, not terrible. I actually don't mind the theme. I was debating even putting this guy this high, I guess. It's gonna be Capra Demon. This dude is just a demon with 2 machetes, but then there's either 2 or 3 dogs in the arena with him.
And on top of that,
the arena is like a New York apartment. Like, he's not even hard, it's just the arena and the dogs make this fight just such a piece of shit. I got Pinwheel here. Like, he's not a challenge, he's not annoying, he's just a pushover. You get the right of kindling after you kill him. It's just like a checkpoint. Like, you just go in there, you hear his little bow wow, bow wow, and then you just kill him, and he gives you a pretty cool mask. You know, it's one of the 3 heads. Alright, moving up into the bottom of C tier, I have Taurus Demon. I think this boss is, like, kind of cool, the way he, like, jumps off the building, and it's, like, your first boss outside of, like, the tutorial boss of Asylum Demon. And then you can also do, like, the plunging attack off of him, where you just go up and just... And speaking of Asylum Demon, I have him right above Taurus Demon, just simply because he's the first boss you run into. You're gonna run into him. He's literally about 30 seconds into the game, and then you come back with your, like, starting gear, and you do a plunging attack on him after you learn the controls, and then you kill him to move on to Firelink Shrine. And he's also got that
fucking dumper on him. Good lord.
What am I saying? Right above Asylum Demon, I have a Dark Sun Gwendolyn. This boss is if, like, you were fighting, like, a baseball pitching machine, but on acid. Because all he does is just sit at the end of this hallway, and he just, like, shoots either magic or arrows at you, just, like, some projectiles. But the hallway is, like,
1,000 miles long.
And he just keeps teleporting. So it just feels like you're tripping until you kill him. And it's not really that eventful of a fight. I mean, I think, like, the spectacle is cool of, like, the hallway, but the fight itself is just meh. Alright, finishing up C tier, I have Centipede Demon. He is not really my favorite, he's not my least favorite, he's just kind of a mid-boss. The only thing I
don't fucking like about this guy
is the lava, because you step in that shit and you're already half health before you even realize. In order to fix that, you gotta chop off his little tank buddy, kill him, and then he gives you a ring. I don't know, he's just kind of, like, lackluster. He doesn't really bring a whole lot to the table, if I'm being honest. Alright, moving up into B tier, I have Crossbreed Priscilla. Let me start this by saying her fight is nothing special, but I do want to get into some features. She has this disappearing mechanic, which is kind of cool. No other boss does it. And then you can also look at those
yummy toes.
She also has a tail weapon that's really fucking annoying and, like, impossible to get. Before you actually start fighting her, you can talk to her, but if you're trying to ask her for some feet pics, she's gonna turn you down.
If thou seekest I, thine desires shall be requited not.
Okay, next in B tier is gonna be Gaping Dragon. When you go into the depths and you see this little crocodile, you think it's gonna be an easy fight. Then he rises. And then you see the
mother of all meat wallets with the sharpened grippers on it.
Overall, this thing's fight is pretty slow. It kind of just moves around. You can get a tail weapon, which is kind of cool, but I think the spectacle is what carries this fight so hard. His theme is also pretty good. It is one of the better ones in the entire game. Next up, I have Seath the Scaleless. This dude has some aura behind him. The lore of him killing all of his fellow dragons is so fucking metal. The fight here is kind of lackluster. It's a lot of just running at him, dodging all these crystals coming up. His tail weapon is also 99% of the fight because he just keeps
fucking rotating.
He has a cool mechanic where you have to go in and break this crystal to even do damage to him. He also has this unique first encounter where you can't actually damage him and he just puts you in a fucking jail cell. Overall, I think he's a pretty decent boss. Next, I have Sanctuary Guardian. Personally,
I fucking hate this boss.
However, he does have some pretty cool attacks with his wings, his tail, and he also shoots lightning. His design's pretty cool. He's got this cool, like, griffin shit going on. He also does have a tail weapon, so that gives him some bonus points. Overall, I think he's a good tester for the DLC, and he's just a decent quality boss. I have the creator of death himself, Nito. This guy's design is so cool, just the mass of skeletons with like this cloak of abyss on his back. I really don't like that he can summon skeletons for the boss fight. However, he has his own nuke that he sets off to wipe them out. He can also just wipe away any dragons, which are some of the strongest characters. Overall, I think his theme, the arena, and his attacks are really well balanced despite the few nuances about him that he has. Near in the top of B tier, I have Iron Golem. I think all of his attacks are great. He has wind swipes, he has some stomps, and he has just some grab attacks where he can throw you off. The arena's pretty cool too, just being on top of Sen's fortress. Sometimes the fight can be a little when he's just stomping. I do like the idea of attacking his cankles to make him fall off. Him being just an iron golem and his design is also really cool. I think the best thing about this boss is just the fact that he leads you to the most beautiful area in this game, Anor Londo. Finally, rounding out the B tier, I have the final boss, Gwyn, Lord of Cinder. This boss is perfect in almost every way except for gameplay. I think his arena, the surrounding area, his character, his aura, and most importantly his theme are all amazing. However, for the final boss, I think it's just a lackluster fight. And don't even get me started on that god tier theme that everybody knows. I wish I could put him higher, but I think that gameplay holds him back from skyrocketing to A or even S tier. Alright, starting off A tier, I have Chaos Witch Quelaag. Starting off, her design is
Peak.
With the mommy milkers on the spider. The fight with her is really good. She has a lot of different attacks between her upper body and the spider changing attacks. Walking through this like spider den to get to her is also really good. I will say Blight Town is fucking god-awful, but she does fit the area very well. The soundtrack to this boss is also amazing. Overall, she's just an A-tier quality boss. Next up, I have Four Kings. The lead up to this fight is pretty cool. First, you get to New Londo, and you have to drain it to even get to the arena. But you can't go into the arena without a certain ring. You get that ring from killing Great Grey Wolf Seath. So you have to go all the way there, kill him, and then you have to return and enter just the abyss. Which, by the way, is one of the best arenas, despite it basically being nothing. This fight has a really cool mechanic where you only fight one at a time, but if you take too long, another one spawns in, and that just keeps happening up to, you know, four kings. Speaking of Great Grey Wolf Sith, I have him right above 4 kings. He's just a dog with a sword in his mouth trying to kill you. He's fucking awesome. He has a lot of just good sword swipes and jumps. He moves around a lot. He keeps the fight interesting. He's also just guarding his master's grave, which just gives him some more aura. He also has this mechanic where he's near death, he kind of just starts limping, and you feel really fucking bad.
But it must be done.
You can also meet him in the DLC, and if you do that before coming to fight him here, he remembers you, and he also knows it must be done. And I'll end Seath by letting his beautiful theme play. Next, I have Black Dragon Calamite. This is actually one of the harder bosses in the game. He has a lot of high damage attacks, like his fire breath and just his stomps. It's a really cool first real dragon fight that isn't Seath or Gaping Dragon that are like
fucked up birth defects.
I love that he also follows you throughout the DLC, and you have to get Goff to fucking no-scope him out of the air while blind. The difficulty, the build-up, and the actual fight are all solid with this boss. Top of A tier, I have an early game boss. It's going to be Bell Gargoyles. I think this is a really good early duo boss. The cinematic is sick, and their design is just cool. It's a decent early on challenge. However, they do balance it by making the second gargoyle have half health. They also have a tail weapon, which is always a nice bonus. And also, their theme is pretty decent too. Finally made it to S tier. Starting out S tier, we have Artorias the Abyss Walker. This dude's lore is fucking amazing. He's one of the 4 Knights of Gwyn who went to fight the Abyss. Drops out the sky, annihilates this chud, and is ready to kill you. His moveset is so clean, and it's such a fun fight. It's challenging but fair. I also love the Colosseum Arena, just a one-on-one fight. But yeah, what an amazing boss in the DLC. Next up is going to be what killed Artorias, and that's Manus, Father of the Abyss. That title alone
makes a little white tear run down my leg.
This dude is basically Batman.
I live in the shadows. Justice.
His design is peak. The eyes on all the antlers, the giant abyss arm. It's peak. He's a really hard boss, maybe the hardest in the game. He has multiple darkness spells he can cast, and also a fucking Mortal Kombat juggle combo. It's just so cool that he is what brings you into the DLC, and he's also the final boss of the DLC. There was no doubt in my mind about this #1 spot. It's going to be Ornstein and Smo. This is the icon of how you do a duo fight. There's a small, quick enemy, and then there's a slow, giant enemy. The balance here...
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
There are also pillars you can use to break up aggro. Their design is also beautiful, just the golden armor. There's also a phase 2 to this fight, depending on which one you kill. You could either get Super Ornstein or Super Smo, and they have different moves based on which one you do. They're also located in Anor Londo, which is just a beautiful area in general. And once you beat them, you get the Lord Vessel, so now you can fast travel to wherever, and you get to also see the
giant mommy milkers
on Guinevere.
Huge, big milkies.
Their theme is probably the second best, only behind Gwyn. I just absolutely love this fight. I love getting to this part of the game. It's just so good. And there you guys have it. The official, subjectively objective tier list of Dark Souls bosses quality. This one took forever for me to make, and it also overloaded my timeline to the point where I almost ran out of memory. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm also working on some small projects on the side to put out, but I can't say anything yet because
I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing for them.
But as always, be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos and rankings of random shit. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.